All right, let's talk about our imminent destruction at the hands of a rogue comet, which is going to smash into Earth and kill us all.
That does sound bad.
Yeah.
Why aren't we all talking about it?
Because that's not really going to happen.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
It was just sensational. That was just to grab people's attention in the first few seconds of the YouTube video. No, but having said that, look, Al Jazeera goes with, are internet rumours of comet hurtling towards Earth true? It's on the other side of the sun. It's nowhere nearer.
I heard it was getting
it's nowhere
really
near
close to Mars. Though.
Yeah, it will get closer to Mars. Well, it has already. It's past Mars now. It got within 23 million miles of Mars, which is actually, in astrological terms, really close.
In parking terms, that would be generous, but in astrological terms, that is actually really close.
Yeah, very close. But no, it has passed. No, it was never ever going to pass anywhere near Earth.
Oh.
Well, having said that, again, in the scheme of things, passing through the inner solar system.
Yes.
But yeah, we were on Mars is on the opposite side of the sun to us at the moment, and it flashed past Mars, so it was never hurtling towards Earth.
But is this one special in some way? Because I mean, we always get bits of stuff.
Sorry, say again.
Is this one special in any way? Because
yes,
we always get stuff. Just
it is special. No, it is special. So it's called 3I-ATLAS. Right. Okay, now I've been fascinated with, if you watch science channels and space channels, it's just been all over that for weeks. So ever since the 1st of July, it was first spotted on the 1st of July this year, and it's the third interstellar object we've found, i.e. it's from completely outside our solar system.
Oh, okay.
All comets that come in, all that we know of, like asteroids and comets, they're in our own solar system, so moving around the galaxy with our sun and us.
Right, okay.
But they've just got like Halley's Comet, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's... Okay.
Well, bits of rock from the early solar system just whiz around, but this one is coming from somewhere.
Right. So
where's it coming from?
Well, it's coming from the direction of the middle of our galaxy.
Right.
Does that mean it could have passed from external?
Say again?
Well, so if it's coming from the middle of the galaxy, does that mean that there's a potential that it came from beyond the galaxy and is merely travelling through the galaxy?
Almost certainly not that.
No.
It's not from another galaxy.
Not interested.
It's interstellar, not intergalactic.
Oh, right.
Can we rule out this being something? Could it be a probe of some sort? Because
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I just want to set the scene a little bit. A bit of context.
If it's coming from the centre of the galaxy, that's where you would. It's the densest region. That's where you would expect life to form first, and it's coming. It's coming there. To us.
You're saying if there is a sort of a galactic empire,
yes,
it will probably reside near the centre of our galaxy.
Yes.
Right.
And it's coming directly from there.
Yeah.
And it happens to be going past the planet that would have first supported life in the solar system. I mean, I know it's lost it now.
Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you think millions, even billions of years ago, they saw Mars, thought there was life there, sent Atlas out to
have a look,
and it's only just getting here now.
Yes,
and Mars is dead now.
Yes,
interesting idea. Yeah, I mean,
as long as this thing doesn't change direction or slow down or anything, we should be all right.
Well, it seems to have changed course and even speed. Well, no, But we'll get to that. Let me just do a little bit more context for people who might not know anything, who've not heard anything about this. So it's only in the last 10 years or so we've actually had the ability to spot things like this. So back in 2017, we spotted our very, very first ever an object that's not from our solar system.
Right.
And they called it a Muamua, which is a Hawaiian word, because I think it was first spotted by a Hawaiian telescope. And that was very odd. If anyone remembers that, it was very interesting. But first thing to say about that is that where we go round the galaxy, it seems like it was sort of more or less, it was moving, but it was more or less in like the interstellar medium, and we just like passed through it. rather than it like coming for us
we passed
and
each other
arrowing
all the
down
way down.
through us. It was more like we were passing it.
Yeah, and eventually pass it again at a certain point in time. It's just a traversing of...
No, probably not.
Oh, right.
Because it was going so fast that the sun didn't capture it, and we go round... It takes 200 million years or something.
So it was moving then?
It was moving.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Whereas this is different. This is on a trajectory straight for us, coming from the centre, going out towards us, arrowing towards us, which is a different thing, right? So just sort of hanging there and we pass it by.
That sounds a bit deliberate.
So, well, maybe.
And you said this thing is slowing down?
Well... Not yet, not exactly. I'll get to that in a moment. I'll get to that at the end, actually, because that's like...
We're jumping the gun.
And then the second thing we found was the comet Borisov, and that was in 2019, which does seem to have been just a classic comet, showing all the signs of being a classic comet. Because Oumuamua wasn't. It had a strange sort of odd tumble to it, and it's how reflective it was seemed odd, and at one point it did seem to speed up a little bit. There was odd things about Oumuamua. But Borisov, the second one we found, it seems to have been just a classic comet. Both these things are relatively small, the size of maybe a football pitch. I mean, Oumuamua may have been an odd shape, cigar-shaped or even frisbee-shaped, we don't know, but because it came and went so quickly. Whereas we saw this early, and it was discovered by ATLAS, which is like an early warning system. And we spotted it quite early, and there's just lots of things that are anomalous about it. There's loads of things that are weird. I mean, you could make the argument that it's just not a comet. They're calling it a comet, but the classic things that define a comet, is not necessarily displaying those characteristics.
Such as?
Well, the type of tail or lack of one, which direction the tail is going. Well, actually, let me just start listing then the anomalies. So, first of all, the trajectory. It's coming in on the plane of the ecliptic, i.e. nearly all the planets, all the inner planets certainly, are all on like the same plane with the sun, right? And it's coming in only 5 degrees shy of that perfect angle. Now, the odds of that, some say that's like 500 to 1, some say it's much more, maybe a few thousand to 1, because an interstellar object could come in or can come in from any angle, any direction.
Yeah.
But it happens to be through, so it comes close to Venus, really close to Mars, and as it goes out, if it doesn't change direction, it'll pass really close to Jupiter as well. So that trajectory, it could just be coincidence. All these things could just be coincidence.
But if you were designing a probe, that is exactly what you would do.
Yeah, to travel near each and every single planet.
Yeah.
So it's become apparent that there's something wrong with modern morality. There is something wrong with what we think in which the good life consists. And that's why I asked Stelios to write me a course on how to be moral. But we are also going to do a webinar where we answer questions. There'll be a Zoom call that you can get a link to. It'll be free. You just come, we'll put it up on the website. Just follow the link in the description. Come and join us. Like I said, it's going to be free. So we're just going to hang out and talk and explain exactly why this is so important. And if you want the course, the link is in the description, or go to courses.lotuses.com and pick it up there. And thanks for watching, folks.
Yeah, but it could just be coincidence. Okay, the speed, it's travelling insanely fast. It's the fastest thing in our solar system right now. It's travelling at 36 miles per second. That's way faster than any other comet or asteroid or even planet in our solar system. Like way faster. That's 58 kilometres per second. That's 130,000 miles per hour. Something like 210, 220,000 kilometres per hour. To give you some idea, the Earth spins at like 1,000 miles per hour. It's moving insanely fast.
Well, if you were launching a probe from the inner galactic empire, you'd want it to get there fast, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's moving sort of abnormally fast. So the trajectory is a strange coincidence, if you want to think of it that way. But the speed of it is sort of abnormal. The size of it, right? It's massive. They're still not even sure right now even exactly how big it is. It looks like it's somewhere between 4 or 5 miles across and maybe much more, maybe 20 miles across. Different scientists are arguing over that still, but it's way big.
Right.
And scientists say, statistically, that's crazy. You should only see one of those every 10,000 years, maybe only one every million years. Right, so the fact that it's the third one we've ever seen after 10 years of looking, again, it could just be coincidence. But how many coincidences do you have to pile on top of one or the other? So, okay, that's an anomaly, isn't it?
There's not even more, is there?
Yeah, there's quite a few more, yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay, so it's chemical makeup. As comets come closer to a star, they start heating up,
Yes.
and they start giving off all sorts of chemicals. Usually like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, maybe like cyanogen gas type of cyanide, very very small amount. But so and they can tell like what it's giving off. They're very clever by the colours that it gives off, and this is giving off sort of weird. The chemistry of it is again odd. We've never seen any comet that has ever done these things. Like it was glowing red to begin with, and then suddenly went green. I say suddenly, but it started glowing green. Now that's not necessarily odd for a comet, but this particular type of green was, again, it's unique as far as we know. Well, it is interstellar, so who knows exactly where it came from. But it's also.
I mean, it was barreling towards Mars,
Yeah.
set to red, which, as everybody who watched sci-fis know, that means it's in kill mode.
Okay.
When it got close enough to realise that there was nothing there anymore, then it switched to green. It went back to standby.
Flipped to green. I don't know. And yeah, the chemicals, they can tell that it's
Weapons grade.
It's giving off. Well, you say that it's giving off a lot of nickel.
Right.
Now, again, it's not entirely unheard of for comets to be exuding nickel, but it's nickel rich without much iron. Right, and again, as scientists tell us, that's just really odd. Usually on Earth, that is a sign of like a technology of like smelting metals like very very deliberately. Usually in space, in comets, in the natural universe, wherever you see nickel, you'll also see quite a lot of iron. It'll be iron and nickel rich, whereas this is just extremely nickel rich, which again could be just a weird coincidence, but it is an anomaly. Okay, now the one that for me made my ears prick up when I first heard this, probably 3 weeks ago, a month ago or so now, is its tail. Now, usually a comet, or the definition of a comet, which makes it different to an asteroid, is that it has a tail. It's icy, not necessarily all water ice. It could be all different types of ice, carbon dioxide, ice and stuff. So an asteroid is just rock, right? And a comet will be more than that. And as it flies through space and as it gets closer to a star, it will warm, and it will have a tail. In fact, it will have 2 tails. One is just blown away from directly behind it, and the other one is the sun's the sun's effect will shoot off another tail directly away from the star. So quite often, if you see comets, quite often they have sort of 2 tails. But okay, both of them are behind where the comet is going, right?
Well, that's how it works.
Well, that's how physics works, isn't it? Well, this one had a tail pointing towards the sun.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't it? Does it?
How?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know.
I mean, you don't ever see like a woman on a motorbike with her hair just streaming out in front of her.
You don't.
It doesn't work like
No.
that.
No. Yeah.
But this one,
almost like maybe it's trying to slow down,
like decelerate. Yeah, it's like exhaust.
Or priming weapon systems.
Wouldn't have bit.
Who knows?
There was no life on Mars, remember? So.
Well, that's why it stood down and went back to green mode.
Yeah, no, true.
Go back to standby.
When I first saw that, I was like, wait. Like,
yeah, that's odd.
I'm no scientist. My background is in ancient history. But wait a minute. Like, what is that? So, now if I talk a tiny bit about sort of the debate that's going on in the scientific community. So, a lot of people I really like, my go-to channels, say people like Anton Petrov, Hello, wonderful person. Isaac Arthur, who sounds like Elmer Fudd. Yes. These are serious guys. These are serious real-life scientists. They're the furthest thing from tinfoil hat people. They're saying it's a comet. It's definitely a comet. Like, calm down. Stop. Take your tinfoil hat off. It's just an odd one. It's an interstellar thing. We don't know that much about them. It's just different to our comets. Yeah, that's what it is. But then you've got also other very serious people who are saying, no, wait. The fact that it's got a tail in front of it and all the other anomalies, this is a bit odd. This is a bit weird. Before I go back to the tail, just to quickly say there's a few other things. Some are saying that it may have changed course a bit. Some are saying the polarization of the light coming off of it. It's polarized light, not just unpolarized light. So that's really
just on your point about people who have commented on this.
Yeah.
And they're saying, don't worry about it. Yeah. It's fine. It's benign. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Does the Central Galactic Empire have a version of APAC?
Yeah. Who are they working for? The whole thing's a giant psyop.
Yes.
The whole thing is to make you take your eye off the ball from the Epstein files.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Space is fake.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, okay. So there's all sorts of people saying there were sort of pulses coming from. There may even have been some sort of signal coming from it. Now the space agencies, the various ones, China, Europe, NASA, have been quiet on that, but some people are saying so. Okay, my point of saying all that is you do have to be careful.
Did you say there's a signal coming?
Well, some are saying that.
What's the signal? Surrender?
No, it's just
come in peace.
Like there's the hydrogen line, whereas if you transmit on a certain frequency, like 1,440 something odd hertz, that's like a very specific. That couldn't be done by accident.
It's not natural.
Yeah, it's not natural. But then NASA, I don't think, might be wrong, but NASA and ESA and China have not confirmed that for sure. So this is,
they debunked it.
So if I quickly get back to the debate that's going on, or like on the internet amongst various scientists, like everything else, you've got the serious people and you've got slop, right? So there is a lot of slop content out there about 3I-ATLAS. There is a lot of slop.
Does this count, or are we in the other category?
I'll let the audience decide.
Right.
I'm trying to be serious. I am trying to be serious. In fact, let me just say at this point, I suspect it is just a very, very odd comet. I suspect that we'll find out that it is when it comes out from behind the sun and when it passes by Jupiter and the Juno orbiter will be able to see it. I suspect it will be not of alien technology.
It sounds like they've got to you too.
Maybe.
Yeah. How much they're paying you?
Big bucks. So okay, with the slop and the serious people.
Yeah.
So there's people like Anton Petrov who are just saying, no, look, come on, it's just a comment. But then they've got someone like Avi Loeb, who is a very, very famous scientist. I mean, he's at Harvard. He's a professor at Harvard, and was like the chair of their astrophysics department at Harvard for years. He's been there for like 30 years, written loads and hundreds of academic papers, many books, chaired all sorts of things. He's very, very, very eminent and serious.
Right.
Again, the opposite from a tinfoil. However, he's one of the ones that are saying, wait, this doesn't look anything like a comet. Why are you calling it a comet?
Yeah.
This isn't a comet. Wait, the tail is pointing the wrong way. Because the naysayers, are saying, oh, it's just outgassing that happens to be pointing towards the sun. It's possible. Yeah, we've never seen it before and it's unique, but it's possible, so it's just a comet. Whereas someone like Avi Loeb and others are saying, no, come on, hang on. Let's just look at the actual data. Let's just look at the evidence, the hard evidence we've got. This is weird. We've now got like 7, 8, 9 anomalies about this thing.
I'd never trust people that instantly dismiss like data points which would
that's where I am.
imply, a sort of a counter opinion to theirs. Like it's if you're trying to shy away from all scrutiny, there's something suspicious about that, whether it's their sort of bias or not. Like, you should always be allowed to scrutinize things. I think that's
absolutely.
If you try and push people away from scrutiny and diminish them and sort of demean them, when there's clear data points which would support scrutiny, then that's odd, isn't it? It's odd behaviour.
It is.
You ridicule people.
That's the sort of argument that Professor Loeb talks about. He says, look, remember Galileo, when he said, look, there's moons around Jupiter, and the prevailing wisdom of the time said, no, they can't be. You're under arrest now. It's like, no, but it's just look through the lenses I've got here. They're right there. And they're like, no, it can't be. It can't be. We're going to suppress and silence you. And it's like, but it is there. No. Right. So that's what Avi Loeb said. Look, let's not Galileo ourselves here. And the thing is, we do know quite a lot about comets, really, in the scheme of things. I mean, quite a few years back, when was it, 2014 or something, we actually were able to put a very small satellite around a comet, 67P, and even the Rosetta mission, and even put a very small lander, Philae, on the surface of a comet. It actually sort of toppled over, and it was a little bit of a failure, although we still did get some images from that. So we do know, the point is that we've lived with comets for hundreds of years. Like even in the Bayeux Tapestry, the Halley comet is there, and the Chinese were interested in comets for centuries and centuries and centuries, millennia even. And comets are interesting, fascinating things. And this 3I-ATLAS just doesn't seem to fit, or for me anyway, and what do I know? But for other people as well, like Professor Loeb, doesn't seem to fit the definition of it.
Can I give you my theory?
Please do.
And I'm pretty sure this is absolutely robust and scientifically sound, because I've thought about it deeply over these past few minutes.
Okay.
But have you ever heard of the dark forest theory?
Is this like the Fermi paradox, one of the possible Fermi paradox?
It's tied up with that. But basically, look, let's say this thing does come from the galactic core, right?
Okay.
25,000 light years away. And let's say there was a galactic empire there, right? And they detect life emerging out on the fringe. So you send a signal, and it's something like, so are you guys chill or are you nutters or whatever it is?
Yeah.
So they detect radio signals coming in. So it takes 25,000 years for the light signal to get to them. They immediately send a message back and saying, look, what's going on with you guys? And then another 25,000 years later, we can get a message back to them and we can say, no, it's all right. We're completely chill. Don't worry about it. We're not going to be launching a Xenos Exterminatus campaign or anything. You can relax, right?
Yeah.
That's a lag time of 75,000 years just getting the messages back and forwards. And what if they're not chill? This new life that you've detected. What if they are a bunch of exterminatus nutters?
Yeah.
So the dark forest theory says that the moment that an advanced civilization detects life emerging anywhere, the only sane thing to do is to immediately exterminate it.
Yeah.
Because if you try and have a conversation with them, let's say you detect a radio signal, there's a lag time, in this case, between us and them, of 75,000 years. That's enough time to go from basic radio signals to exterminatus warships, right? Yeah. So the only thing you can do is every time you exterminate it. Now, this thing is travelling really fast, but I worked out, if it's come from the galactic core, it would have taken 100 million years to get here. So what I think happened is they detected some life possibly on Mars in the early days or on the early stages on Earth. And they're like, yeah, okay, we're going to send a kill probe. It's going to take 100 million years to get there. We'll pass by Mars. We'll scan what's going on there. I'll bet you any money, in a week's time, this thing goes past the sun and starts to do a turn. It uses a gravity assist and it comes back on us.
Hang a left at Mars, head straight for Terra.
Yes, I think that's what's going on. I'm pretty convinced that's what's happening here.
Well, it's possible. I mean, let's just talk about that right now. It's behind the sun at the moment, because as soon as we realised what this thing was, i.e. an extremely rare thing, we then got Hubble and James Webb and loads and loads of different space assets and and ground-based assets to look at it in all the spectrums. Like the whole scientific world just was like suddenly looking at this thing, as you would, of course. It's fascinating, and so although it is quite difficult to see exactly how big it is, because it's got this coma, it's got this thing around it. So to see what the nucleus,
like a force field.
Well, no, but maybe. I mean,
Some kind of cloak.
let's call it a force field. That sounds cool. But how big the nucleus is, we still don't even know. And then when it passed by Mars, they did like the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and even the little the car-sized rover on Mars, Perseverance. All the things on Mars that we could. Even one of the Emirates has got cameras on Mars, and they all looked at it as it flashed by. And but the thing is, at the moment, it's behind the sun, as far as we're concerned, and as far as, obviously, Hubble and even James Webb are concerned, it's behind the sun, so we actually can't see it at the moment. It's perihelion, where the point where it passes closest to the sun is on like the 28th or the 29th of this month. But it's not till December it will sort of come out from the other side of the sun, as far as we're concerned, and we can see it again. Now, we expect it to fly off straight out to Jupiter. But what if, as Professor Loeb has suggested, is a crazy outside possibility, but we can't necessarily discount it. What if, as it pops out, we realise, it's changed course massively and slowed down massively and it's heading right towards us?
It's taken the gravity assist, it's bent around, it's coming back, it's changed colour again, it's back to red.
I must reiterate at this moment, I suspect that won't happen.
Sport.
I would put a tenner on that won't be the case.
I will put... but I will take that bet. I bet you a tenner that it is an exterminatus probe from the Galactic Empire. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, hang on. That's a bad bet because
it's pretty unlikely. Really.
Check on it now.
If we get it's just a simple game theory.
No
backsies. No, I know I'm right, but the problem is if I win, I won't be able to collect the tenner because we'd just be
annihilated.
You're just vapour drifting out across. Yeah.
You know, you'll have a few weeks or months to enjoy the tenner before it actually arrives here.
Oh, that's all right.
And given inflation in the UK, I mean, that'd be pretty quickly spent anyway. Yeah.
So that's just interesting, real footage from the surface of a comet. I'm always fascinated, amazed by something like that. Some of the footage we got from Titan, for example, Galileo. Going to other worlds, absolutely fascinating. So we won't play the audio on this, but we can just have this on in the background. And that's Loeb. That's Professor Avi Loeb there.
I mean, he's being interviewed next to a bookshelf, so he must be a serious guy.
Very serious.
Yeah.
No, he is. He's really, really eminent.
Picture of himself in the background.
So these are actual from the European Space Agency. That is it, as it passed close to Mars, because the cameras they had on like the MRO and Perseverance, they're not meant for looking at something 23 million miles away. They're meant for looking at the ground almost right next to the camera, really.
Right.
So they're not like Hubble or James Webb, where they're designed to look at things a long, long way away. And in fact, James Webb isn't designed for looking at something that close, that small, moving that fast. That's not what James Webb was designed for, although it can still do it. Again, look, there's sort of the real image, if you believe that space isn't fake.
It's not a lot to go on, though.
And gay. No. No, not really. So...
have we got actual images of this?
That is an actual image.
No, but like a detailed one.
That isn't.
No, that's the best we've got.
Because we do have the ability to do that, don't we?
No.
What?
That's the best we've got.
We don't have the ability to get a better image than that.
No.
What? Do we not?
No.
I thought we could take pictures of stuff from space and...
Also,
I've seen pictures from space that look pretty detailed. Well, better than that.
So again,
why do we not have... Well, I'm so confused.
I just said, so for example, the best space telescope we've got is the James Webb Space Telescope.
So it's nearsighted or...
Yeah, it wasn't designed to look at something moving that fast, that close.
Bit of an oversight, isn't it? Really?
It's meant for looking deep in, like long exposure, deep field images, looking back over billions of years, stretched out infrared things. It's not meant for something like that.
That's something we should probably get on. I would imagine.
Yes,
shouldn't we?
it sounds like we need one of those.
Hopefully, maybe the best image we'll get of it is if it doesn't change course when it passes Jupiter.
Yes.
Again, we've got an orbiter there, Juno.
Well, when was that launched?
And it's actually quite old, actually. It's like,
Well, that's going to have a shit camera on it then, isn't it?
But apparently
Convenient.
it's going to pass quite close though, and that hopefully that will get the best.
Yeah, but that's going to have like a Nokia 2610 level camera on it.
Also, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, one thing which some of the slightly more tinfoil hat wearers would say is that out of NASA, the Chinese, and the European Space Agency, it's only the European Space Agency that has released anything. Because that flyby happened on either the 3rd or 4th of this month, and it's days later, and the Europeans said, we've got this. So probably NASA and the Chinese, but certainly NASA will have better images. They just haven't released yet. Some of the conspiracy types are like, oh, that's weird. Although NASA as a federal body is actually, they're all on furlough, and it's like closed down because the whole US government is on shutdown at the moment, isn't it?
Did you see the pizza tracker thing?
What?
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah, you
so-
love
so
the
there's-
pizza tracker stuff.
Yeah, so there's an account, and what they do is they track the pizza parlor next to the Pentagon, and whenever they get a spike in pizza orders late at night,
Okay.
it normally means something bad is about to happen. Anyway, it
fair.
went off a couple of weeks ago,
Oh.
and we didn't go to war. So what were they doing in the Pentagon? I reckon it was this.
I think so.
Yes.
Wasn't that when
Well-
Pete Hegseth had that massive meeting with all the generals?
Well, this is what I talk about with like the slop end of the spectrum. On some channels, they were saying exactly that. When
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth got all the top brass together, they were like,
Confirmed
it's
it.
because of they need to put a plan together to defeat
But he was like, stop being lame and
3I-ATLAS. Yeah, and he was just saying, get in shape. Being fat isn't a good look for a general.
Pizza. I'm here to bollock you for being fat. Also, here's a massive number of pizzas.
Well, some people say that the whole government, US government shutdown is to suppress information about this. But I mean, come on, that's for me. That's obviously just nonsense. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it isn't. Maybe, but I would have thought so. Yeah, people have got all sorts of crazy ideas and thoughts and feelings about it. If you ever heard of the wow signal back from the 70s,
Oh yeah.
where SETI got a particularly strong signal coming from the same direction
Oh.
that 3I-ATLAS is coming from.
Was it actually the same
Yeah.
place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And some people saying, oh, maybe they were pinging us. And like maybe they were scanning for us, and they were like, oh, got ya.
Right.
The thing is, 3I-ATLAS has probably been flying through the interstellar medium for billions of years, though. So, okay, there's loads more to say, loads more of interesting things and to point out, but my time has basically come to it. That's what they think a Muamua looked like. There's loads more things to say, but we've run out of time. I would say it's almost certainly, well, I wouldn't call it a comet, but it's almost certainly a natural object that's just odd to us. But it could be at some point in December, it hits the news that it's appeared from behind the sun and it's slowed down and changed course.
And it's turned red.
And I win a
And it's
tenner.
gonna- And Dan wins a tenner at that point, yeah.
So it's become apparent that there's something wrong with modern morality. There is something wrong with what we think in which the good life consists. And that's why I asked Stelios to write me a course on how to be moral. Because thankfully, we happen to have a long history, written history of morality that we can actually call upon here, and we can actually reconstruct it ourselves. And so I asked him to write me a course on ancient Greek virtue ethics because he happens to be an Athenian philosopher with a PhD in philosophy. So who better to do it?
Well, thank you very much for this. The course and the preparation for it and recording it was an incredible experience, and I'm very grateful for this.
Really think, and I really mean this, like I I think that actually it is our job in this time and this place to start putting all of this back together, and that's why I asked Stelios to do this course, and that's the purpose of this course. But we are also going to do a webinar where we answer questions. It'll be a Zoom call that you can get a link to. It'll be free. You just come, we'll put it up on the website. Just follow the link in the description. And I really think this is a part of the reconstruction of the West more broadly, and I think that without someone undergoing a project like this, then the job will never be done. I just think we fall into the modern, immoral, rules-based order, and that's the future unless we do something about it. Come and join us. Like I said, it's going to be free, so we're just going to hang out and talk and explain exactly why this is so important. And if you want the course, the link is in the description, or go to courses.lotuses.com and pick it up there. And thanks for watching, folks.